Greetings, this is Tito Turtle with Asantua, and I'm Marian, your host. Welcome to Did You Know This, and to the second part of the conversation with Mr. Michael Marmon-Halm, Managing Director of FairAfric Ghana Limited. Stay tuned. I would like to find out again what some of the challenges you are facing are and how you have managed to navigate. Because a young company, leading a young company, a young man yourself, would you like to share some of the challenges and how you have overcome?
From operational level, I think that one of the main challenges, and because of our geographical location, has been power. Power supply to Suhum, to the factory, hasn't been too good. Even when you have consistent supply, you are battling with under voltage or over voltage. So every time there is a problem with power supply, to navigate our way through, we have had to install solar panels and also rely on 500 kV gen sets. So these always are backups to the main power supply. It's good, but then it also increases our operational costs.
Yeah, adds to the cost of production.
Yes, makes your chocolate more expensive.
So how affordable is your chocolate now that you're talking about expensive?
Well, you see, chocolate, real chocolate is expensive. That's the truth. And so if you ask how affordable it is, I would say we are comparable to the same price as the big brands, like Lint, the Cadbury's.
Yes, that was.
Same price.
Okay.
Because we are doing not just regular chocolate, but it's also organic. And this extra premium.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. So you heard him, it's affordable.
Very affordable.
I know that FairAfric has chalked a number of successes under your leadership. Would you like to share with me some of them?
Yes, I'll start from the very recent, which was just about 3 days ago. We were actually in 3 nominations under the Ghana Cocoa Awards award scheme that had run for 3 years. We found ourselves being nominated in 3 categories: Chocolate Brand of the Year, Value Addition Company of the Year, and then Overall Outstanding Contribution Company of the Year. And out of these 3, we were able to pick up 2 of these awards for Value Addition and then Overall Contribution to the country. That was the most recent.
That is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is it the first time you were nominated for this kind of award?
This is the first time we were participating even in that award.
And then you won 2 out of 3
yes.
nominations. That is wonderful news to know.
Because we are still under 1 year of production actually.
Wow. That is great news. And then we're going to add more.
Yes, and also, well, from a brand perspective and then from an individual perspective, I found myself being nominated under the manufacturing category and an award scheme called 40 Under 40.
Okay, I think I mentioned that in your
which was
my intro to your interview.
Yes.
But we could talk about it.
Okay, which was to celebrate 40 achievers under the age of 40 who were doing brilliant, fantastic jobs and finding themselves in areas where they are causing change. And so I found myself still under the brand FairAfric being nominated and also winning the award.
Yes, that is also great news. Congratulations once again.
Thank you. And then on the international level, we found ourselves also being nominated and winning the Value Addition Company. That particular award scheme was looking at companies who were creating change in rural areas, and we found ourselves also winning that award.
That is good to know. Kindly again share with us some of the other achievements you have gained along the way that are probably not in the public space or in the limelight, but you know you have gained as a professional at the field of work.
Okay, so our company currently is the only company that combines or actually making good use of green energy. And if you check all the factories in Ghana and even the cocoa space, nobody is actually committing resource into going green. And for us, protecting the environment and being sustainable is something that we take pride in. So we have been able to install a 266 kVA solar panels in our factory. Also, we are the only ones who are actually doing 100% biodegradable packaging materials, right from our primary packaging to secondary and tertiary. These are all biodegradable materials that do not harm the environment. While the others are doing regular aluminum foil, we are doing this biodegradable system.
Okay, so the plastic wrapping is biodegradable?
Actually, it's 100% a plant-based pulp.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not plastic, it's called Nature Flex, and this is 100% biodegradable.
Wow. I think that's the first in Ghana, maybe, if I'm not exaggerating.
Perfect, it's true.
Yes.
It's true.
Okay. And then, which incidents in your life will you consider the happiest? Apart from the awards that you just mentioned.
Well, I would say that what I've seen myself growing to and using my space to tell the story always gives me that level of happiness. So I started off without knowing what this would turn out to be. All the way from my previous job to my current job, I couldn't tell what 2 weeks would look like, because I found myself being in all sorts of things. Normally, because of my versatility, I get played everywhere, and so it's always a combination of different things, and sometimes it's confusing. So seeing what I have been able to do, connect all the dots and bring it, narrow it to this perfect thing, always brings me joy. And I'm happy I'm using my skill, my talent, and my platform to also change the lives of many meaningful Ghanaians coming up.
That's good to know. So would you say that you take one day at a time?
Actually, yes. One day at a time, bearing all rates, and being very open to spontaneous effects.
Okay, so what has kept you afloat? Because that can be a bit distressing, when you feel like you're being tossed about, today you're here, tomorrow you're there, you're supposed to function and then be effective or productive in all the places you are thrown to.
Yes. So I find myself being self-motivated, and I've always taken pride in seeing people who at some point in their lives are considered real experts at what they do. So I've always said to myself, look, until I turn 45, I can understand and appreciate that everything I'm going through now is a learning process, and I'm no expert until that period. So just be open-minded, take the stress, go through the process, and definitely you would be a king. It comes with sacrifices, because normally there are people who get affected, like my family. I get to see them only on weekends, which is not too pleasant. Like friends of mine normally say, hey Michael, be careful your kids don't call you uncle. Yes, because they get to see you only once in a week. So it has its sacrifices that you have to put in. But the motivation normally also comes from what we learned in biology in high school, where if you take the insect kingdom, for example, everybody is assigned a particular role. And so if I am a soldier of where I find myself now, this is my dedication, this is my task, and unfortunately, this is what I have to do.
Then I guess you practice that in your leadership as well, division of labor.
Yes,
you don't carry all the burden, you delegate and all that. And
divide and conquer. Yes. That's always the trick. Yeah.
All right. Any hobbies?
Well, I have a very weird hobby. I'm a car lover. Like I really like the automobile industry. I love good cars, and so on good days I just drive around for no obvious reason, just to test out the vehicle, see what's trending in the automobile industry, and yeah.
Are you a collector?
Well, collection is tied to money, and so for now I can only collect toy cars instead of real cars.
There's someone I know who is also into that collection.
Yes, but so
his dream cars, he has toys of them,
yes.
And they are not even cheap too.
No.
Those models are also expensive,
and you would not even find them easily. Yeah. So anytime I travel, I look out for these souvenirs as well.
All right. Yeah. Interesting. Is that all?
On casual days, I do a bit of swimming, and I like good music. Yes, but work actually takes so much of my time. Sometimes you may not get to, like, you may not be available for these kind of hobbies. But music is constant because you drive around, there's radio, and swimming usually on Saturdays,
Okay.
and then driving. I like driving. Yeah.
All right. All right. So you've shared with us your hobbies. Apart from the hobbies and then the work you do so well, are there any social or other courses that you are passionate about?
Yeah, I spend considerable amount of my time being a mentor, and so at church level, I normally take up some youth leadership responsibility, where I use my story to educate and motivate the youth. Also, I spend good time trying to create platforms for students, because I realized that during my entire schooling period, this was totally missing. Like, it was a struggle to find yourself, even to see what goes on in the industry. And so, using my space, I create opportunities for students, internship, national service, and any other thing you can think of, and use our story to also help motivate them. The last aspect is just researching and also looking at things 40 years from now. Like, there's so much talk about environment, sustainability, and alternative livelihood support for
artificial intelligence
as well. Yeah. So I spend time reading and finding out what the world is doing. Because sometimes you may just be in your little space thinking you are a champion, but you end up being just a local champion. So
you want to stay relevant.
Stay relevant.
And one way of doing that is giving back to the young people. You give and then you learn. So it's very good, and I'm happy to hear that from you.
Thank you.
And then my next question is, which I ask everybody that I interview, or almost everyone I interview, is what would be your advice to your younger self? And I can give it a specific age, your 15-year-old self.
Well, I think it from this point, like as an adult, as a growing adult, and sometimes you get faced with all sorts of things, and there's that possibility and there's that reason to quit. Because in Ghana, whilst growing up, you get affected by so many things, like your parents even determine what kind of religion you would find yourself in, what kind of name will be given to you, what kind of institution you would go. Yes, and your financial position at home also determines where you find yourself in terms of education. So at age 15, I'll tell myself, hey, well, within that period, there were some mistakes you made, like trying to find a reason not to continue a particular path. This shouldn't happen.
Teenage rebellion.
This shouldn't happen. Rather, try and turn lemons into lemonade at every stage in your life, because the world was not just built. Like, whatever we are doing now, you'll be surprised, that has been predetermined. The only difference is that you contribute to how it turns out by the actions you take today.
I call it cooperation with faith, or with grace, or with favor. You know, religious people normally say it's by grace, but you need to cooperate with that grace.
Exactly. Because no person was created under the same faith to be, for example, a dropout or an arm robber. But you have the power to influence this decision depending on what puzzle you push yourself into.
Young people, I hope you are listening, taking the key from this. If you want to succeed and acquire and then also give back so much before you turn 40, like our guest. So any final or parting words?
I'm very happy that I was granted this opportunity also to showcase myself, and also use myself as an ambassador to teach people other versions of success. And for me, it's always something that I take pride in, because growing up, we sometimes had to depend on to actually calibrate ourselves in terms of success, and in terms of trying to succeed.
What you see.
What you see. And actually, if what you see shapes what you know and how you perceive things, then you must understand that you must always put yourself in that position to see more. And so, yes, I would like to say thank you also to yourself, because there are people who can catapult you easily to another height in your career or in your life. And it's very good to keep good network and be humble. Serve continuously and always be humble.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you on this show, and thank you for accepting to be here on such a short notice. Thank you. Dear viewers and listeners, I know you agree with me that this has been a wonderful conversation with Mr. Michael Marmon-Halm, the Managing Director of FairAfric Ghana Limited. Keep the words of encouragement and the nuggets of knowledge that he shared with us. Thank you for staying. Bye-bye for now.